know, Jimmy Page is the most famous, or one of the 5 most famous rock musicians ever in history. He's the guy who invented hard rock production as it now exists. He's the original hard rock guitar player. He wrote 2 or 3 of the 10 greatest songs ever written. And he's been a recluse all these years. So when he had to join the 80s and now the 90s, it's a difficult thing for him. I mean, my advice to him will be to get some younger players, some great players like Robert Plant did, and because his music is still good and his playing is it's amazing. When he did the tour here, which I didn't really agree with the venues or the people he had in his band. I thought his musicianship was outstanding.
How the band got together, Bonham, was it was quite a long story, but after the Atlantic 40th anniversary, the Led Zeppelin reunion, CBS approached myself to get a band together. So it was going to be one of those things where they get like a super group, where they get people from all over to get the band together. But I decided not to do that. My friend Ian, we'd known each other for like 5 years. So we were like, yeah, drinking buddies down at the pub. So I walked up one of the days, I saw him in the pub and I said, fancy getting a band together? And I started writing material. So he said, well, I've got nothing to lose. So we went out and got totally drunk in Los Angeles, the Rainbow, and went in and started writing songs, and here we are now. It's not just me doing a solo project and calling it Bonham. There are 4 hearts that beat in Bonham, and each one of them beats to make the music, you know. Chance of a Led Zeppelin reunion with me on drums? I don't think so. I think they still, you know, obviously the money gets bigger and bigger, and one day, you know, you've got to look at it and say, well, you can't turn that down, but they're not knit for that. And to me, Led Zeppelin is not Led Zeppelin without John Bonham on drums, you know. It would be damn close. But it just wouldn't. I don't think it would happen. But then again, you can never tell with Mr. Plant, Mr. Page, Mr. Jones. It's up to them, you know. It's one of those things. He asked me if I wanted to play on the record, which I did, obviously. You don't turn Jimmy Page down, you know. They've got a chance to play with him. So we recorded the album over a long period of time and on different breaks. It was great fun, good experience for me to work that way. And then I went on tour with him. My father taught me to play, you know, obviously the basics, but it was then you have to like start listening to records and things and start hearing other ideas. And people like Phil Collins, Tony Thompson, Simon Phillips, Mel Gaynor, people like that. I started listening to them and I like that, that's good.
Out of here.
Don't take my drink. Please,
Not doing it.
please, please.
We're not going unless you say we're
We've got to go
metal.
have a meeting. You're heavy metal, you're not new romantics, all right? What's he doing?
Phil, we got to go have a meeting with our accountant.
Yes, you have. You're going to all be thoroughly
We've got to go have a meeting and see how much money we haven't made.
Well, bye.
Won't be
Bye
a
for now. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
This is me, and this is Phil Johnston, co-pilot.
On the ship of fools.
plays guitar and plays keyboards and is Prince Anxious in the organisation.
She's the girl of my dreams, she's the girl of my mind. She's playing me for a fool cause she's the hurting kind.
I think with Manic Nirvana and all the work that's been done in the last 18 months, the whole mood and temperament of the group has been forged as a group situation. Whereas in the beginning with Now and Then, Phil and I more or less commandeered the whole project ourselves. And as time went on, it became obvious and natural with the kind of contribution that everybody else was making that the thing take its natural course. And now it's a real, it's a five-man Robert Plant.
Black hair moving over me. Oh, yes, I feel good now. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you.
Now and Then was very cold and clinical in a way. It's because it was the first time that Robert and I had worked together.
I think we were quite nervous too.
Oh yeah.
During that thing.
Definitely, especially when Jimmy was there.
On waves of love, my heart is breaking. And stranger still, my self-control I can't rely on anymore.
I discovered Howling Wolf through a rather odd sort of direction. Manfred Mann on their first album had Smokestack Lightning was the first track.
The Wolf was his personality and his presence was so overpowering that he did frighten a lot of people. He carried with him an aura which, whether it was intentional or not, was made people very uncomfortable. And he was really the last echo of deep blues. He played a lot of songs which were on one chord, which basically started the career of people like Clapton and Zeppelin, all the How Many More Years and Spoonful and all that sort of thing. And he really is the touchstone which allows you to get into where all that blues comes from. And even on Anniversary, on Manic Nirvana, it's there, that blue thing. But it's not fake blue, it's deep blue.
Back to my loving ground, oh no, oh no.
I was at the school which was incredibly straight and academic, but the art school around the corner was where it was all happening. So you could skin up in the common room and listen to John Lee Hooker and listen to Crawling King Snake, Blind Lemon Jefferson playing Black Snake Moan, and you know, and then you go back and do a double period of physics, which is of no significance at all to me. Last night I saw Jim Capaldi, who used to play with Winwood and all the Traffic Gang, way back, you know, and it was marvelous to touch on that whole, it was more than just music, it was a society, it was a culture, it had its own, not rules, but it had its own hierarchy, you know, the king beatniks. That's where it all came from.
With the hum of the mud, distance and longing, my thoughts do collide. Should I rest for a while beside?
I've been in emotional purgatory so many times, you know, self-appointed. I applied for the post and got it.
It doesn't make it comfortable to listen to, though.
I get bags under my testicles, under my eyes, from this life. But it's silly, really, because a lot of people do who don't sing songs. They must be full of lyrics on a Friday playing playing cards. Jason went to bed before the speeches because he had a bit of a tiff with the father-in-law, but we managed to he got his boots off by the time I got in the room, and he was just about to ruffle up all the towels and undo all the soap. I carried the common law wife over the threshold out of the hotel. Well, I do hope you watch this, gal. Bring me fresh horses, let me ride the wild beat women in houses. I can't deal with their heat. They seek salvation. I'm not sure that it's theirs anymore. Just the same old pop drivel, except for I live it. 10 men of standing with their backs to the wall shrink from the knowledge they throw gold in a hole. What's really sad now is they don't mind at all. People will buy peace with a woman. People will do anything just for peace. I like to go, and I live in my car. Because of it. Again, for the third time in 2 bloody years.
Oh, let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you.
I was part of a great select load of people who actually made some rules way back, and I don't have to keep on recreating the same old crap time and time again. I've got to go out and explore, otherwise this is a job. And I'm very proud of all the things I've done. And if I only wanted to breed off commercial success, I might actually consider joining with other people and making a hell of a lot more money than I can ever make now, and being adorned and festooned with all sorts of gratuities for the next 18 months. But that stinks.
She's a girl in my dreams, and she's a girl in my mind. She's flavorful of food, right and kind.
It beats getting up and going to work.
I'm gonna ride the wild wind, and nothing I won't do. Coming up real fast, got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you. All right, all right, all right. I got my eyes on you.
Hard and Heavy, the world's first international hard rock and heavy metal video magazine. 80 minutes plus of totally uncensored hard rock and heavy metal volume video. The best new bands from around the world. On the road in Europe, America, and Japan, Hard and Heavy takes you to the rock capitals of the world. The best live hard rock and heavy metal concert performances and music videos in each and every issue. Behind closed doors for exclusive in-depth interviews. With the new issue of Hard and Heavy every 2 months, this is your parents' worst nightmare. You'll see Hard and Heavy's own wild cartoons. This is not video for the weak. You won't see this on TV.
If you're in the mood for a lewd and you want to get real crude, nude, and rude, you got it all right here. Hard and Heavy.